Yo, what is up YouTube? James Baek here, and welcome back to another episode of VGC 17 back-to-back battles. Today we're using Drakeop's team from the April International Challenge, an online tournament basically where you can get championship points. And yeah, this is a pretty old team actually. He got 1800s in that tournament, and yeah. So I'm using this team because, one, I haven't exactly had the most time. I've actually been going through a lot of stuff recently, so I don't exactly have time to make teams, well, make my own teams, like build my own teams and then get them in game. It's just a lot of work, and really VGC 17, I'm pretty much like, I don't know, I'm just not really feeling it as much. Of course, it is like the post format. I'm pretty much done with all the regionals that I have that I'm attending, so I don't really see the need to like focus so much on VGC 17 unless I go to London, which I'm still unsure of at this point. But today we're using this team here because I really want to use a fun team. We've been using Worlds teams, and then I usually like to switch to my like fun stuff. And this team, it seems pretty fun. It's got some text. Obviously, we have a Slowpoke on the field, and if you can't say that's fun, I don't know what's wrong with you. But we're gonna be playing some games. Let's just get started with today's episode. We are using this team, and I don't know how this is going to work. I honestly have no clue. This is the first game I'm ever playing with this team, and we're on the bottom of the ladder. Of course, I did tell you my rating reset when I went to regionals, so yeah, let's see, can this team dominate the bottom ladder, or maybe we'll be, well, I'll get dominated instead, who knows. But yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say. Let's just get some battles, hopefully, and yeah, we'll see how this goes. So basically, I want to know your people's opinions about the channel. VGC 18 is going to be upon us when Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon hits in November, and of course, obviously, I'll obviously be doing content for that. I don't know how long it's going to take for me though. I mean, it's not like it's a brand new game and we can't trade mons or we have to breed them or something. So it's going to be a lot easier to get content started up. I just probably have to beat the game, or I probably don't even have to beat the game, to be honest. I could probably just go online straight away, but I don't know yet. We might have VGCs unless I do go to London, which does conflict with the release date. So who knows? Maybe we'll have VGC 18. Although we don't know, like, maybe no one's on the ladder, but I'm gonna see if I can maybe get content out the day of Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon's release. Who knows? We'll see. But we got Ayana for our first opponent, with the team of Tapu Fini, Arcanine, Xurkitree, Ninetales, Garchomp, and Manabus. Actually, this was a team I was actually thinking of earlier today. Not gonna lie, this was actually a team I was thinking about earlier today. That's actually kind of funny. So yeah, we got Hail versus Sun, which is interesting. Tapu Fini is really annoying though, in general. Like, Tapu Fini is definitely annoying. I don't know how I want to handle this. My Nihilego is pretty good. So is Smeargle. I could go the Trick Room route. Although I do like the fact that I think Smeargle plus my Nihilego just does so much work against my opponent's team. So this Torkoal Lilligant combination. So I think I actually do want to lead Smeargle plus Nihilego. I think it's the most solid lead for me, with Torkoal Lilligant in the back. I just feel like it's extremely solid here. Of course, it's the first time I'm playing the team. I should probably double check the sets that we got going here. I know some of the sets, I don't know all of them, but we got some crazy things happening for these sets. So, okay, we don't have Protect on Nihilego, and I don't know what's nature. That's not good. We'll see here. Garchomp Ninetales is going to lead. If I am correct, I do have HP Ice, so I could just blow away the Garchomp with an HP Ice turn 1. And it could be Scarf Garchomp. Could be Scarf Garchomp. I don't believe so on this team. This looks more like a Groundium Z Garchomp, if anything. You know, Roarveil setup. I mean, that's the most classic usually. It could be bulky Garchomp, I suppose. I mean, yeah, and this is Max Speed Nihilego. Perfect! I can go for HPS and probably just pick up the KO on Garchomp. It is a Life Orb 1. Oh, I actually don't have Fake Out on Smeargle. I actually did not know that. So, there are two plays my opponent can make. One, a Roarveil, maybe Tectonic Rage turn 1, maybe a Protect. I could definitely see a Roarveil coming out, so I think I want to go hard in a Torkoal and HP Ice. There could be a potential Icy Wind here, which would be extremely bad for me, but I think I'm going to risk it turn 1 just because I don't know, could go for Icy Wind, although Fake Out in Ninetales is obvious. Ninetales could also switch out and try to reset board positioning. Yeah, Garchomp is in an okay position. Of course, my opponent doesn't know I have HP Ice, which is the good part. And luckily, I don't have to deal with like a Mandibuzz, because actually this lead does not deal with Mandibuzz. That's what you get for not looking at the team before you play it. But Torkoal is going to come out. We get the Drought up, so if my opponent goes for the Auroraville and Tectonic Rage turn 1, we are okay. Actually go straight for the Blizzard, and Torkoal dodges the attack, so if this doesn't freeze, because I think Blizzard can freeze in normal sun but not in primal sun, great. We get the HP Ice off, that's going to go into Garchomp, and that's going to pick up the one-hit KO, and that's exactly what I wanted. Basically, I mean, I took no damage with Torkoal. I mean, Blizzard was probably still going to do like a decent amount, I think. I think it would have done like, I don't know, 15%. I mean, Torkoal's not exactly the best special defensive Pokemon in the world, but not illegal. Definitely able to take that. We're able to knock out the Garchomp turn 1, which is a huge threat. The Mandibuzz is going to come out on the field, and I don't see a problem not going for Eruption here, because an Eruption should just be able to pick up a KO here with Power Gem. I mean, this is Life or Power Gem, and I'm pretty sure the only switching my opponent has is actually Tapu Fini. Now the question is, do I want to risk that? Because the fact that if my opponent does do that, like goes into Tapu Fini here, I guess I could be in trouble. I could Sludge Bomb that Ninetales slot, but I also don't want him getting Tailwind and then getting free switch to Tapu Fini. So it's like a bunch of mind games here, potentially. I could Trick Room here, which wouldn't be bad either. Actually, I do like Trick Room Eruption. I think that is the play that covers all my opponent's options. Like if my opponent switches into Tapu Fini to get that Misty Seed, or yeah, which is what my opponent's going to do. So I could Sludge Bomb that slot. It was free, but getting the Trick Room up basically allows me to Sludge Bomb. And if my opponent tries to prevent Trick Room with like a taunt, I still get the Sludge Bomb off next turn. We are completely fine. And I get all this free damage right here, as that is going to be the Tailwind coming out from the Mandibuzz. So perfect. I think this really just covered basically any option my opponent had. Ninetales was forced to switch out or be sacked and just try to get a low chip damage. But right here, that Eruption actually does a lot to Mandibuzz. That actually did a lot, not going to lie. As we do get to Trick Room up. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And I am going to save my Torkoal. I'm definitely going to save my Torkoal here and go out into my... I think Lilligant is a fine play, because I think Lilligant is okay here, just because I can Power Gem this... Well, Mandibuzz can't really do anything. It can taunt. It can't really do anything, can it? It can Roost, but that's pretty much it. Actually, I don't care if my opponent tries to get Ninetales in or save the Sun for later in the game. I could just go for the Sludge Bomb plus Eruption here. I'll be able to outspeed the Tapu Fini with the Protect. Yes, you can protect your Tapu Fini all you want, but Mandibuzz can't pick up a knockout here, and it can't set up like anything that can really change the position of my opponent. Foul Play crit won't knock out Nihilego, or at least I hope it won't. I don't think it should. Let's see here. Yeah, it's just gonna be Roost. So my opponent's stalling out the turns, yet I don't feel like it's a problem at all, to be honest. And I could definitely see my opponent trying to go for the sack Ninetales here, yet my opponent still has 2 turns of Tailwind, and I can always just pick up the knockout on Mandibuzz the following turn. Okay, so what I want to do here, since there are 2 turns of Tailwind on my opponent's side, yep, so I'm guaranteed going to be slower. I can just fire off an Eruption here. I don't have to switch out. I really don't. I could knock out the Ninetales coming in, if Tapu Fini goes for Double Protect, I guess so be it. But either way, your position is still not that great here, as my opponent does stay in with Tapu Fini, so I just get a free KO onto Tapu Fini with the Sludge Bomb. And Mandibuzz is still taking a lot of damage, and I can guarantee the KO on Mandibuzz the following turn. So no matter what, Sludge Bomb going to go into Tapu Fini. That is going to pick up a knockout. Tapu Fini does go down. Thanks to the Misty Terrain too, my opponent's not going to be able to freeze me, which is like very good here, as we're going to see probably, I would assume, a Roost or maybe just a Foul Play. It is going to be that Roost, so yeah, this is looking very bad for my opponent. I'm just going to be able to get a... I could probably just switch out Torkoal at this point, to be honest. I'm trying to debate whether it's worth keeping Torkoal in. I mean, this game is pretty much over in my opinion. Like, it really is over. I don't think my opponent exactly has a way to stop this. Although maybe my opponent's going to try to protect with Ninetales. I could definitely see that as well. And, you know, I still think I have like multiple options against my opponent no matter what anyway. So what I'm just going to do is switch out on a Lilligant. Lilligant's job is really not necessary here. And I'll be able to go for a Power Gem into the Mandibuzz and pick up a knockout. Mandibuzz is not a Pokemon that usually carries Protect. They usually like to run Tailwind, Taunt, Roost, and then maybe like Foul Play or Snarl, depending on what kind of Mana Buzz it is. Sometimes they forego a Roost, but they usually never carry Protect. So no Protect coming out from my opponent, but Power Gem is just going to be able to pick up the knockout Mana Buzz. That has Speed Control gone. The Ninetales is left alone. I can set up my Sun very freely here. I don't even think that this Ninetales will be able to knock out my Nihilego, but it might be able to two-shot it after Life Orb Recoil. My opponent goes for Aurora Veil. Maybe just like, maybe my opponent didn't care because Aurora Veil is definitely not the play there if you want to get back in the game. I think my opponent just said, I think I lose anyway, so why not just click this move anyway. Yeah, because there was no reason to really click Aurora Veil. Maybe if my opponent thought I was going to switch out and go for the Power Gem into or Sludge Bomb into the Ninetales, maybe it makes sense. And then your Mana Buzz can take attacks or get Tailwind up. So maybe you could get some better board position, but otherwise, yeah. This team doesn't have Protect, does it? I just realized this team really doesn't have Protect. I'm just gonna double up the Ninetales because it doesn't really matter at this point. Pretty sure a combination of Smeargle plus Torkoal will be able to win the game no matter what. As the match is gonna be forfeited, and we will be able to take the first win. So pretty nice. We didn't get to bring the main mode of this team, but the Nihilego is doing a lot of work here. Although I'm not sure how I feel about not having Protect on so many mods. Let's see. Lilligant doesn't have Protect. Does any of these Pokemon have Protect? No, the only Pokemon that has Protect is Torkoal. Okay, so that should be interesting. Well, we'll see how this plays out. But let's get another game. That was a pretty fun game. Could have gone really differently though, depending on if my opponent had Icy Wind or not. If my opponent did have Icy Wind, maybe go for it as VGC. Great. But yeah, if my opponent had Icy Wind, maybe didn't carry Icy Wind. I mean, yeah, maybe it was like one of the Blizzard Protect, Freeze Dry. Was it Blizzard? Yeah, Aurora Veil variants. That's kind of like an old one. Most Ninetales usually carry Icy Wind, but there are still some of those Ninetales that go for Freeze Dry. So, not sure if my opponent did have Icy Wind. Could have went for it, and that could have made the game a bit different in retrospect. Yeah. Like, Icy Wind was probably the one thing I was probably fearing the most, but luckily my opponent didn't Protect turn 1. Maybe knew the team, and maybe my opponent knew the team and knew that Smeargle didn't have Fake Out. I don't know, but luckily, Nihilego was able to come through with that HP Ice turn 1. As we're gonna cut it to the next game. As we find our next opponent, Asgard from the United States, 1561 rating, with Drifloon Lele. Okay, this is gonna be an interesting one, that's for sure. I don't know how this matchup's gonna play out. Although it does look like I could probably get what I want here in the matchup. So I think the play is Lilligant's definitely not the play. I think my opponent is forced to lead top. Is forced to lead Lele Blimp here. I think it's the safest lead for my opponent in general. Could maybe go like an Arcanine plus something and then have Coco in the back. But I think Slowpoke is fine here. I think Smeargle is okay here. I think that Torkoal is okay here. And the last one, I think Nihilego is pretty good. Because what I'm thinking is, you lead Lele Blimp, I'm able to pick up a knockout on Drifloon early. Once your speed control runs out and once Trick Room goes out, Nihilego can basically sweep my opponent's team. If I get rid of Kartana, of course. But of course, maybe my opponent doesn't bring Kartana. Because this is a pretty bad matchup for Kartana in my opinion. So, Lele Blimp, I'm guessing the turn 1 will be Taunt plus Will-O-Wisp turn 1? I would assume so. Maybe Shadow Ball turn 1. But we'll see here. I just click Follow Me Trick Room. That's probably my game plan here. And I think it's the safest play. As Tapu Lele Drifloon does come out. We'll see. Yep. It is Tapu Lele Drifloon. So, there's going to be some Mind Games turn 1. There's definitely going to be some Mind Games turn 1. As, look at this Slowpoke, man. Look at this Slowpoke. As we are going to see the Psychic Seed, of course. Psychic Terrain. But I will go for the Trick Room here. This is Sunny Day cool. That's actually really cool. So we'll go for the Follow Me here. Yeah, we Follow Me. Oh wait, my opponent can't taunt, but I want to avoid Shadow Ball plus Moonblast. Yeah, because that's probably my opponent's best option. So Yeah, I realize Slowpoke is oblivious, so you can't taunt him. But also the fact that, one, the Tapu Lele most likely... One, Shadow Ball plus Life Orb or Specs Moonblast would blow away Slowpoke. So this is the safest option no matter what. Although I could potentially have Spore, depending on what kind of Lele I thought it was. Depends. If it's fast, that could have been bad. If it's slow, Spore was a safe play, as Shadow Ball's going to come out. That's Psychic. Okay, that's perfect, actually. As we are going to see the Psychic going to go out in a Smeargle, we do have that Focus Sash, so we'll be able to survive. And it is Life Orb Tapu Lele, so that's a huge threat out of that's a huge threat to be worried about, as we do get the Twisted Dimensions in. And I don't know if you're going to Shadow Ball the Torkoal again, although I probably wouldn't if I was my opponent, but I do want to get Torkoal in as fast as I can. I am kind of impatient about that, so what I could do is just switch out my Slowpoke into Torkoal and go for the Spore, which I think is the safest play. Yeah, I'm just gonna Spore the Tapu Lele. Because what Life Orb usually indicates? Life Orb usually indicates it's a fast Tapu Lele. Of course, this is there is the bulky Tapu Lele that Aaron did run that one time, so maybe. But most of them usually run like Timid or Modest max speed, as Driplum's going to switch out, so I don't have to take Shadow Ball damage. That's perfect. Oh, but you go into Tapu Koko. Okay. But what are you going to go with the Lele? Is it Psychic or is it Moonblast? I would assume Moonblast, or maybe... I don't know what you're going for then. Going to surround itself, and Taunt is going to come out. Ooh, this is beautiful. That's actually the best turn. I don't think my opponent knew that I had Oblivious on Slowpoke. At least I think I have Oblivious. Is this Regenerator? No, I am Oblivious. Okay, so perfect. I don't know why my opponent tossed it. Maybe expected to switch, but don't know what the taunt really does. Now I'm gonna let's go Accelerock and go for the Eruption here. Tapu Lele gonna protect, which is fine here. Absolutely, and Driplum also lost its Unburden boost, so we're okay here. Accelerock gonna hit into the Torkoal slot, and we are boosted. We are boosted, and we are going to get this Eruption off. And the Tapu Lele already protected, so it has to get double protect or switch out the following turn, as we will get this Eruption off. Are you Focus Sash? Your AV won't survive that. Yep, you go down, Tapu Koko, and that is huge. This is absolutely stunning right here. This is probably the best thing I could have ever asked for. Driplum's going to come out. Driplum's not a Pokemon that can take this +2 Eruption. I doubt it. And since you got rid of your own terrain, I don't care if you try to go for a double. I will go for the Feint. Oh man, this is clean. This is absolutely beautiful here. So I'm going to go for the Feint in case you go for the double. I also get a little bit of chip, just that little bit of chip, just in case like you're some random bulky Tapu Lele. Here comes the Eruption, +2 Eruption. Goodbye. And I believe we still have one turn of Trick Room, and I could just go for the Feint Eruption play. Yeah, like Feint plus single target Eruption in the sun. I don't think anything on his team can handle that. Kartana is definitely not a Pokemon that can handle that, and that will be good game. So yes, we actually get the tech off in this game. But oh man, that was cool. That was just cool. Feint gonna go off, as that does break with potential Focus Sash, and Eruption is gonna come out into the Kartana, and that will be able to pick up the knockout. So a very, very quick win. Yeah, it could have been very differently, this game. This game could have definitely gone differently, looking back in retrospect, if my opponent went for Taunt into Smeargle, for instance, instead of a Shadow Ball Psychic, which I'm kind of surprised, instead of Shadow Ball Moonblast. But yeah, Shadow Ball Moonblast, probably, like, I guess maybe my opponent just went for a Shadow Ball into Slowpoke, and went for a Moonblast into Psychic into Smeargle. I don't know how that exactly works. I guess it kind of makes sense. But no matter what, I would be able to get Trick Room up then. Well, no matter what, my opponent didn't have a way to stop Trick Room unless I literally didn't go for like Follow Me with Smeargle and went for anything else or switched out. So yeah, I just don't know. I don't know, but yeah, I don't know. If I was in my opponent's shoes, I would probably go for the Taunt if I was him into Smeargle, because at least like Smeargle can't really do much otherwise, and if it switches out, that's always a risky switching, because if you switch out Smeargle, if you switch out Smeargle, you're risking a Psychic into that slot, and that's just so much of a risk. Mesa from the United States, 17-18 rating, will be our following opponent. Yeah, like, I'm just trying to figure out how my opponent can win that matchup, or how it could have played out if my opponent did like a few different turns, because I don't know. Like, I'm trying to figure out, because it still seems like you're in a bad position, but I feel like, I think, like, I don't know. The best possibility, I think, is like going for the 50-50s and like forcing Smeargle to stay in, never risking the Torkoal, or you force your opponent to risk the Torkoal right there. I don't know. Could be either one. But let's see here. Tapu Fini, Snorlax, Mimikyu, Kartana, Ninetales, and Marowak will be on the board. So this is going to be really interesting. Like, Marowak is a really difficult Pokemon to deal with on this team. I think I want to go... I mean, Sun will destroy him if I do get it off. How do I want to handle this? So I think maybe... no matter what I'm trying to think of, it doesn't seem like it would work. I have to redirect the Shadow Bone. So I'm going to go Slowpoke Smeargle, because I do feel like it's the most solid option here. And I think I'll have Torkoal in the back. Hariyama is okay. I think Hariyama might be the solid play here. Yeah, I'm going to go... Maybe it wasn't the most solid play. Like, I could have brought maybe Nihilego as a second Trick Room user, just in case. I could have brought Lilligant as a mode out of Trick Room. I don't know. There's so many different options. I just don't think I had much time to decide on it. So we'll see how this goes. As we're going to see the Mimikyu Snorlax lead. Okay, so my opponent going straight for it, and I could go for Spore potentially. I'm not sure. I don't think my opponent should let me get Spore off, so I'm trying to figure out what my opponent's trying to do. You can't taunt my Slowpoke. Are you trying to double into it? Well, I could Spore the Snorlax. I don't think you go into Smeargle by any means necessary, unless maybe a return. I guess that's like one of the ways, but you know what? I'm expecting Fini to come in. I do expect Fini to come in, so you know what? I'm going to go hard into Torkoal and Trick Room. I feel like that's the best play, is Mimikyu is going to switch out, and I'm betting that's Tapu Fini. Yep. So this works out in my favor, because now I get... Unless my opponent targeted into the Smeargle slot, which I think you go for Belly Drum. Maybe your Stockpile set. Or maybe you just go for return damage onto Slowpoke. All of them are very solid options here. But I do get the Drought up, so these Water type attacks for Tapu Fini won't be doing too much. And it is going to be the Belly Drum, so nice, nice, nice. +2 Eruptions, looking very solid in this game. Which I definitely do feel like. Probably the most solid option in my opinion. So I think Surf plus Eruption. Of course there is Ninetales potentially in the back. Which, you know, could be scary here, but... Like if Ninetales is in the back, I mean, it's +2 Eruption still, right? I'm not sure if you even bring Ninetales in this matchup. I think you bring Marowak, if I'm completely honest. So I'm gonna go for it. I'm gonna go for Surf Eruption. I'm able to pick up the knockout on Ninetales no matter what anyway. And I'd be able to get a lot of damage on the Snorlax, as yeah, my opponent doesn't look like Ninetales was an option. So I go for the Surf here, which gets you know, like very little damage in general on my opponent's side of the field. And we will be able to get Torkoal boosted with that weakness policy, and let's see if a +2 Eruption can knock out these Snorlax. I mean, I know Specs does a lot of damage to Snorlax, and this is +2. That did a lot less than expected, not gonna lie. Facade's gonna come out, and that's gonna knock out my Torkoal. Critical hit, I do not think that might have. I know Return would definitely get the knockout. Facade is a bit weaker, well, quite a bit weaker. Moonblast is gonna come out into the Slowpoke. That is Specs, Tapu Fini. So yeah. I don't think I don't feel like, yeah, maybe I could have played that better. I didn't realize how, wow, I didn't think Snorlax would be able to take the +2 Eruption for sure. No matter what, I can't beat the Tapu Fini plus the Snorlax, can I? Maybe if I brought a more offensive option? Well, if I brought Lilligant here, it goes down anyway. No matter what, yeah. I have to Fake Out, and No matter what, I don't see a way out here. Because no matter what, I'm pinned by this Tapu Fini. I'm just going to go for a fake out into Snorlax and Surf, and hopefully that picks as a knockout, as Snorlax actually reveals Protect. So maybe if I Heavy Slammed into that slot, maybe if I Heavy Slammed the Tapu Fini, maybe I would have given myself a shot, but I don't know. I feel like that, I don't know. I was not expecting to Protect there. Besides Protect Belly Drum, okay, that's an interesting set. Huh, okay. So Moonblast is going to come out into the Hariyama. That's going to be able to pick up the knockout. And yeah, I don't have any offensive pressure. I only have a Slowpoke and a Smeargle, and those Pokemon are definitely not going to be able to finish this job here. So yeah, that's going to be good game. That's definitely going to be a good game. I definitely cannot win. Maybe if I transform or something, I could potentially win. But yeah, I definitely cannot win. Good, well played by my opponent. Yeah, I just want to know like how bulky that Snorlax is. Because I know Specs Eruption can do like 65% to a Snorlax. That might be single target though. Let's do the calc on live. Because I really do want to know this. Might be helpful. I know I'm not at full power, obviously. But it would be good to know for the future still. Let's see. Plus, I'm looking up Snorlax. I mean, he definitely has to be special defensive. I definitely know that. So Snorlax, Torkoal, +2. I think the eruption's like, it's definitely not full health. I think it was like at 150 or 160. I think I'm gonna say 160 here. Oh wow. Okay. The eruption does. Oh wow. He doesn't even have to be specially defensive. It's guaranteed to live. Ah, okay. Lesson learned today. But then again, that's because of the 135 base power. If it was 150, if it was literally at max, it'd still be a roll. And that's not even a bulky Snorlax. So that's kind of sad. But yeah, hope everyone did enjoy today's episode. Okay, so we got 2 wins, 1 loss with this team. We did learn, however, which is the important part, always learning from your mistakes. And yeah, like, I'm trying to figure out, maybe I should have went for the fake out first. Like, I'm trying to think, what could I have done better in that match? I honestly, the way I was playing it, it was just trying to get the Snorlax in the KO, because I knew Tapu Fini would most likely switch in, because you don't want your Pokemon going to sleep to a Spore. So I honestly thought, even if he does do that and Snorlax like does get a Belly Drum up, I thought +2 eruption would be able to pick up the knockout, but apparently not. So yeah, looks like maybe what I should have done was gone for fake out on the Snorlax turn 1, set up Trick Room, Surf, because then my opponent, I don't think you are able to knock out Torkoal the following turn, because of the fact, even if you go for Muddy Water Specs, it's in the sun, combined with the fact that you have, let's see, you don't have High Horsepower, so you only have Facade. Muddy Water and Sun. What does Muddy Water and Sun do? That's a question I also want to know. How much does Tapu Fini do in Sun? Muddy Water does about half. Okay. So what I could have done potentially was fake out the Snorlax, get a bit of chip, Surf, hope he goes for a Moonblast the following turn. Maybe Moonblast Facade in this, the Slowpoke, while switching out into Torkoal, Surf that turn so Torkoal gets the weakness policy, and then Heal Pulse Eruption, because maybe the bit of chip from the Surf plus a fake out into Eruption would pick up the knockout, and then he can set up a Belly Drum. And if he does have the Belly Drum, that means I could just Heal Pulse my Torkoal to full, most likely, and that's if he's max special attack, by the way. It does like 50 to 60 if it's max special attack, which I'm not sure if they run anymore, but yeah, definitely could have played that better, but we do learn. So hope that everyone enjoyed today's episode of VGC 17 Backsplit Battles. If you did, please leave a like down below. It shows your support, as well as you can check out previous stuff down below. And yeah, let me know if you want to see like more VGC 17 stuff, or maybe Battles Double Spot like taking it up for the rest of the 1 month remaining till Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon comes out. I'll probably at least do it till the end of October, VGC 17 stuff, but not sure if people want me to move on to like about doubles rules until we get Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. Let me know in the comments down below. But anyway, hope that everyone enjoyed. You can feel free to leave a comment down below. You definitely can feel free to, and share this video with your friends if you think they will enjoy it. Otherwise, yeah, have a good day, and I'll see you around in another episode.